Hello everybody, good morning. This is Mariebertt Julle Tajonera. I am tasked to discuss about research-based teaching and learning in the 21st century. Before we begin our topic for today, let us go over with our learning outcomes first. In today's topic, you are expected to present the 9 categories of research-based effective instructional strategies, and second is to identify competencies or contents and performance standards in the K-12 curriculum that can be attained by using selected relevant instructional strategies. According to Suzanne Donovan and John Bransford, in the 21st century, teachers must address and build upon prior knowledge to promote student learning. Students come to the classroom with prior understandings and experiences. Students must have factual and conceptual knowledge in order to develop understanding and effectively retrieve and apply knowledge in real-world contexts. Students learn more effectively when they are aware of how they learn and know how to monitor and reflect on their own learning. With the demands of the 21st century, solving problems flexibly, thinking critically and creatively, using knowledge and skill in new situations, collaboration and communication skills, and technology literacy. With these, there are traits that a 21st century teacher must have. So, with the students who are also bombarded with the demands of the 21st century learning, such that collaboration skill, communication skill, and technology literacy are enhanced. On the first hand, let us discuss the 9 categories of instructional strategies. These principles are rifted in the 9 categories of instructional strategies which were identified through a meta-analysis of instruction conducted by Marzano, 1998. These 9 categories of institutional strategies were found to be highly effective as proven by their effect science. The first one is setting objectives and providing feedback. In this category, the direction for learning and information is highlighted and give room for correction to improve learners' performance. Therefore, students or the learners are guided well by the setting of the objectives and even giving feedback at the end of every activity. Next is reinforcing effort and providing recognition. In this category, this enhances learners' understanding of the relationship between effort and achievement. Therefore, they are encouraged to put some or exert some effort in order to achieve such goal. Provide abstract tokens of praise for an accomplishment. In every accomplishment, in every achievement, there must be a recognition for the child to continue the same behavior in every or in any activity given to them. The third one is cooperative learning. In cooperative learning, these provide opportunities to actively interact interdependently within and among each other, and pave the way to enhance learning collaboratively. In this way, students or learners are encouraged to build rapport and establish teamwork among themselves in order to enhance learning in every instruction given to them. Next is cues, questions, and advanced organizers. This category promotes probing or follow-up questions. It enhances the ability to retrieve cues and organize their schema or their prior knowledge of a topic or a unit or a lesson in such particular subject. Non-linguistic representations category enhances the student's ability to represent and elaborate on knowledge using mental imagery. The next category is summarizing and note-taking. This enhances the ability to synthesize information and organize it in a way that captures both main ideas and supporting details. The seventh one is assigning homework and providing practice. This extends learning avenues for learners to practice and also enhances ability to reach the expected level for mastery or proficiency for a skill or process. The second to the last category is number 8, identifying similarities and differences. This enhances the understanding of and ability to maximize knowledge by engaging learners in mental processes. Lastly, the number 9, generating and testing hypotheses, enhance students' understanding of and ability to use knowledge by engaging them in mental processes that involve making and testing hypotheses. The 9 categories can be divided into 3 groups. First, creating a positive environment for learning. Second, helping students develop understanding. And third is helping students extend and apply knowledge. Now let's discuss the instructional strategies by group. 3 main groups of instructional strategies are again creating a positive environment for learning, which includes setting objectives and providing feedback, reinforcing effort and providing recognition, and cooperative learning. Under helping students and develop understanding are cues, questions, and advanced organizers, non-linguistic representations, summarizing and note-taking, and assigning homework and providing practice. Under helping students extend and apply knowledge is identifying similarities and differences and generating and testing hypotheses. These are the 9 categories under the 3 main groups of instructional strategies. Let's go over first with creating a positive learning environment. Under this group, according to Haiti, one of the most important influences in student achievement is the relationship between the teacher and the students. Godwin also says, as I quote, he describes teachers who create a conducive environment for learning as warm and empathetic and establish a sense of community within the classroom where they respect students and students respect them and one another. Dane also said, as I quote, it is essential in creating favorable learning atmosphere is a growth in mindset where teachers' words and actions make it clear that student achievement depends on hard work and effort and isn't cast in by stone by past performances. These motivate students to work harder. As students work harder, their feeling of self-efficacy increases. Now the first one is setting objectives. In setting objectives, we are setting the learning objectives that are specific but not restrictive. We can also communicate our learning objectives by sharing it to the students and even to the extent of the parents. Next is connect learning objectives to previous and future learning. We always go back to their prior knowledge, their schema, and our pursue it for future learning. Next is engagement of students in setting personal learning objectives, making it their own learning objectives that makes them self-directed learners. Next is providing feedback. Providing feedback is making the students understand what was correct and what was incorrect, and make it clear what the students need to do next. So we are providing feedback for improvement, and it must be criterion referenced. It must not be subjective. It always points out the correct and incorrect performance of the students. And we will always have to engage students in the feedback processes, meaning we are open, we are approachable in discussing to the students what is his or her correct or incorrect performance in a specific subject area. What can reinforce students' effort? Now here, students are encouraged to know the one and only formula for success, which is hard work and hard work. Meaning, we are reinforcing effort for them to be determined and to exert effort in every activity. We must teach learners that success is within their control through their determination and efforts for a subject matter. Next is providing recognition. What can be done to provide recognition? This is where we promote a mastery goal orientation. Teachers should recognize effort in relation to learning outcomes, not to other students' performance. In other words, the emphasis is on criterion reference and not on norm reference assessment. Next is provide praise that is specific and aligned with expected performance and behaviors. Next, teachers must be generous with genuine praise. No, it must be genuine. It must be according to his or her performance in a subject matter. The fifth one in creating a positive learning environment is the cooperative learning, where learning atmosphere is more favorable when students work together and keeping the group size reasonably small for them to be able to express their opinions, their ideas, and to communicate and do teamwork freely or within the reach of their preferred group size or group number of people. In cooperative learning, there are 5 elements of these. First is the positive interdependence, meaning the students work as cohesive groups to achieve shared learning objectives. The purpose is to ensure that success by an individual promotes success among other group members. The instructional implication for this, because it establishes a cooperative goal, structure, and equally distribute resources, and help students develop a sense that they sink or swim together. Next is the face-to-face promotive interaction. Students assist and interact with each other to solve problems. The purpose of these is individuals encourages and activate efforts to achieve and help one another learn. The instructional implication is it encourages discussion among group members and teach students about the importance of effort and how to provide others with recognition for their effort. The third one is individual and group accountability, where students do their best work, share ideas, and help group function efficiently. The purpose of this is to ensure that all members contribute to the achievement of the goal and learn as individuals. The instructional implication for this one, it establishes an optimal group size and include individual assessments, helping the students understand that each person needs to contribute to the success of the group. The fourth one is interpersonal and small group skills, where students work together, trust each other, and resolve conflicts constructively to achieve a common goal. The purpose of this is to ensure that all members clearly understand effective group skills. Its implication provide essential and ongoing instruction on effective group skills such as communication, decision-making, conflict resolution, leadership, and trust. For the last one is the group processing. By reflecting on the learning process, the effectiveness of contribution of the members in the group improves. Now, the purpose of this is to promote group and individual reflection for the maintenance of group effectiveness and success. Its instructional implication, it established dedicated time for group reflection by providing structures such as specific questions, learning logs, or sentence stems that focus on how well the learner is functioning and how to function even better. One group of instructional strategies is helping students develop understanding. The students use prior knowledge as scaffolding new learning, in which it includes cues, questions, and advanced organizers, non-linguistic representations, summarizing and note-taking, and assigning homework and providing practice. In these, we are helping students to develop understanding. Using explicit cues is done by giving a preview of what is to be learned, perhaps with the use of pictures. Second, by explaining the learning outcomes of the lesson or unit, and providing a list of guide questions that they should be able to answer at the end of the lesson or a unit, and also emphasizing the inferential questions. These are questions that can be answered through analysis and interpretation of the text. They can be answered by reading between the lines. For example, how do cattails disperse their seeds? Or what conditions are needed? Dry water, wind, or just water. Ask analytic questions. There are three categories, which are analyzing errors, construction support, and analyzing perspectives. Next is use advanced organizer. The word advanced makes clear that the graphic organizers are meant to give the students what they are expected to learn before the real teaching learning takes place. Graphic organizers, on the other hand, are different from advanced organizers. There are four formats of advanced organizers: expository organizers, narrative organizers, scheming organizers, and graphic organizers. Let us go over with our advanced organizers. The first one is expository. It describes in written or verbal forms with the new content the students are about to learn. An anticipation guide or prediction guide is one of its examples, and it gives students clue about what's coming next that helps them set a purpose for learning, an important aspect of motivation. Next is the narrative advance organizer. It presents the lesson in a story form to make relevant connection to the lesson. It can also be in the form of a video clip or a material relevant to the lesson. It's as if you are telling a story or a show and tell. Then the scheming advance organizer. Scheming is the process of quickly looking over a material to get a general idea of what the material is about before reading it fully. Providing questions to guide the scheming process helps students access relevant prior knowledge. Now, the use of cues, questions, and advanced organizers can arouse the curiosity of the learners and the interest in the lesson. The use of inferential questions can help develop critical thinking among learners. Moreover, advanced organizers can help students use their background knowledge to learn new information. It can serve as mental scaffolding or ideational scaffolding, Ausubel's term to learn new information. Linguistic representations. It is the information stored in memory in two ways. As words, it is linguistic, or as images, non-linguistic. Non-linguistic representations dwell on imagery form. What is imagery? It is expressed as mental pictures or physical sensations such as smell, taste, touch, kinesthetic, association, and sound. This is done to help students develop understanding of the lesson, make use of non-linguistic representation which include first, creating graphic organizers, second, making physical models and manipulatives, third, generating mental pictures, next is creating pictures, illustrations, and pictographs, and lastly, engaging students in kinesthetic activity. Now let's go over with the different graphic organizers that is presented here: descriptive, time sequence, process or cause and effect, episode, generalization or principle, and concept patterns. Let's go over each of them one by one. The first one is a descriptive graphic organizer which gather facts about a topic. The facts do not necessarily follow a specific order. Next is a time sequence graphic organizer, which organizes information in a sequential or chronological order or cycle of events. Next is a process or cause and effect graphic organizer, which organizes information that leads to an outcome or shows steps to an end result. Episode graphic organizer combines multiple ways of organizing information about a specific event. In this organizer, a generalization presents the details and the generalization arrived on it, or making a generalization and then stating each of the factual evidence or observation. B is a concept pattern organizer, which organizes information or declarative knowledge into patterns to show relationships and connections of concepts. The physical models or manipulatives. Manipulatives are physical tools of teaching that students visually and physically with objects such as coins, play money, blocks, puzzles, popsicle sticks, pebbles, maps, mock-ups, and models of the different body system. In this, it can be used in the K-12 curriculum guide for math that cites its particular use of manipulatives. Next, the mental pictures, which make students generate mental pictures or mental images. Mental images are the representations of the physical world in a person's mind or perspective. Then create pictures, illustrations, and pictographs. Creating pictures, illustrations, or pictographs by hand or on a computer is an opportunity for personalized learning. For example, in a grammar class, students were asked to illustrate the sentences with dangling modifiers. The drawings clearly showed to the students and impresses on them how funny and awful sentences are with dangling modifiers. Then the last one, engaging in kinesthetic activities. Jensen said that when students move around as part of learning activities, they create more neutral networks in their brains, and the learning stays with them longer. Making students dance the stages of mitosis or make them illustrate planets orbiting the sun is the best example. The next one, under helping the student develop understanding, is summarizing and note-taking. One way of summarizing is by the use of summary frames. A summary frame is a series of questions or statements that need to be completed. It is designed to highlight the critical elements of a specific text pattern. Students' responses to these questions constitute a summary of the key information. Now, there are three different summary frames. The argumentation frame to be discussed first is example, what is the basic claim or focus of the information? What information is presented that leads to a claim? Or what examples or explanations support the claim? Or what restricts the claim? Again, a summary frame may also contain questions which, when answered, can serve as a summary of an article. The second summary frame is a problem-solution frame. What is the problem? What is a possible solution? What is another possible solution? What solution has the best chance of succeeding and why? The third summary frame is the conversation frame. First, how did the members of the conversation greet one another? What question or topic was insinuated, revealed, or referred to? How did the conversation progress? And how did the conversation concluded? Another way of summarizing to develop students' understanding is by engaging them in a reciprocal teaching. Reciprocal teaching refers to an instructional activity in which students become the teacher in small group reading sessions. Teacher's model then helps students learn to guide group discussions using 4 strategies: summarizing, question generating, clarifying, and predicting. Slides teaches us how to go about reciprocal teaching. The important here is the students or learners are given the chance to be the teacher of a small group and encourage students or co-learners to engage and cooperate and collaborate among each other in one group. Note-taking. It is another strategy that can help students understand and remember new information. Note-taking may be done by writing words or by drawing. There are 3 formats for note-taking, which are webbing, informal outlining, and a combination of webbing and informal outlining. When we say webbing, it is a non-linear format and uses shapes, colors, and arrows to show relationship between and among ideas. Best examples are spidergrams, mind maps, and concept maps. Is the skeleton prose or the informal outlining. This is the most common form of note-taking. Notes are structured as a sequence of numbered points and paragraphs, with headings and indentions, a little like an essay plan. This is useful for those books, articles where arguments are static and built up slowly and sequentially. Last subtopic of the second group in instructional strategy is assigning homework and providing practice. Designing homework that provides students with opportunities to practice skills and processes in order to increase their speed, accuracy, fluency, and conceptual understanding, or to extend their learning on a topic already learned or to learn new content. Second is to provide feedback on the homework. And third one is homework should be aligned to the learning outcome or objective. Friendly reminder, homework should be meaningful. It should never be used as a form of self-punishment or a punishment of student toward a learner or his or her classmate. Third group of the instructional strategies is helping students extend and apply knowledge. All new learning builds on prior learning. Remember that for a student to be able to apply or make use of what is newly learned, it should be applied. It should be used in the real-world context. Let's go over with the research-based strategies. The first one is identifying similarities and differences. Dean gave 4 strategies in identifying similarities and differences, namely comparing, classifying, creating metaphors, and creating analogies. The first one is comparing. It is showing similarities and differences. For example, compare problem-based learning and project-based learning. Before students can cite their similarities and differences, they have to have a thorough understanding of the problem-based learning and the project-based learning. Thus, comparing the two is higher in level than just explaining them both. Second one is classifying. It is the process of organizing groups and labeling them according to their similarities. For example, classify the theories of learning. The theories of learning can be classified as behaviorist, cognitivist, and constructivist theories. But before students can classify them as either behaviorist, cognitivist, or constructivist, the students must have a thorough understanding of each of these theories. Next is creating metaphors. It is the process of identifying a general or basic pattern in a specific topic and then finding another topic that appears to be quite different but has the same general pattern. For example, a teacher is a bridge that collapses after the children have crossed, or the Lord is my shepherd, or all the world's a stage, as you like it, Shakespeare, according to Shakespeare. So the students can come up with fitting metaphors only after mastery of a lesson or unit. Now, in creating analogies, it is the process of identifying relationships between pairs of concepts or between relationships. For example, Piaget is the cognitive theory, Kohlberg is the moral theory or cognitive theory, Howard is to multiple intelligences. So these are analogies that identify relationship between pairs or concepts. Subtopic under helping students extend and apply knowledge is generating and testing hypotheses. When students generate and test hypotheses, they actually apply principles learned. They deepen their understanding of the principles upon which they base their hypotheses. Generating and testing hypotheses are applicable not only in the science class. When students make predictions based on evidence or ask, if I do this, what might happen, they are engaged in the process of generating and testing hypotheses. Generating and testing hypotheses can also be applied in problem solving. A problem is anything that needs an answer or explanation. Here is a simple problem. Example, does the eating pattern of the children in class include natural juice? The pupils will give a hypothesis based on their observations, then gather information to determine if their hypothesis is correct or wrong. The process of generating and testing hypotheses can also be applied in an investigation process. In the science class, a problem may call for an experiment. In edukasyon sa pagpapakatao, the students are asked to investigate why most Catholics are against the reproductive health law. Before they gather information from various sources, they state their hypotheses. It is these hypotheses that will govern their data gathering process rather.